This Green Blue Luffy's game plan is all about flooding the board with Impel Down cards. They're low cost, but can really help you swing with wide boards. You will also have a Hail Mary event that restands everything with potential 12 attacks in one turn. So how does it work? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mabi here, and today I'm going to be covering the OP16 Green and Blue Monkey D Luffy leader. We're going to go over exactly how the deck is built, a lot of the combos, the early game, the mid game, the late game, and all of that stuff. Now remember, all of my decks can be found on Mabi TCG.com in image and text format, plus all the notes that you see here will be pasted on there. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. It really helps out a lot. So let's go ahead and get started with the pros and cons. So basically, with this specific leader and how I built it, you can summon multiple characters per turn that have really good value. Now, I mean, like, they can attack really well, they also replenish themselves for more stuff, and they hardly lose out on resources in trade. So this is a really good pro for the deck. Now, the cons of this deck, though, there's no real good character protection. If your opponent is running very easy ways to KO small things or stop your characters from attacking straight out, you don't have a good defense against that. And also, usually with this style here, you're not attacking with a lot of high power. It's usually 5,000, 6,000 power with the very occasional 9,000 power Boa Hancock here. So let's go ahead and talk about every single card. Then we'll talk about the early, mid, and late game. So the first thing here is Luffy from OP16, 5,000 striking leader with 4 life, green and blue, Impel Down and Straw Hat Crew. With one ability here, activate main once per turn. If the only characters on your field are Impel Down characters, set 2 of your Dawn cards as active. So how this specifically works is, it's okay if you put down something, but it also has a Straw Crew on it. It's okay. As long as it has the Impel Down on the board, you can use the ability. Does this mean you can use it without an Impel Down on the board? No, you need at least one character with Impel Down, and only all characters with Impel Down only. So for example, if I had this Brook on the field that's with the Straw Hat, yeah, I won't be able to use the leader ability even if I have other characters with Impel Down. So that's how this thing works. So you're going to be restanding Dawns, and basically you're going to be attaching them to your leader and character to do extra damage. You're going to be leaving them up so you can activate events, or you can just attach them to, just basically more stuff. All right, so that's how that works. Let's start from 0 to highest cost. There's no 0 in the decks. We'll talk about the first 1 cost here. Luffy from OP16 with 1 cost, 0 damage, 1 counter, 2 abilities. With 1 Dawn attached on your turn, this character gains 1,000 power for each of your characters with a different card name. This is an extremely powerful searching card that really fits in with the theme here of you want to flood your board. Now you can see here there's lots of different character cards, and that's a reason for this. Basically, the reason why there's so many different character cards is for this ability and also this event, which we'll talk about later. So you want lots of different names on the board. So if you put 1 Dawn on him, he gets plus 1,000. Then if you have 5 characters with all different names, Luffy included, he's going to end up with 6,000 power with just 1 Dawn if you fill the 4 requirements, which is pretty good for a 1 cost that also searches. The on play, look at the top 3, grab any Impel Down card. It can even be another Luffy. And because your whole deck is pretty much Impel Down, there's 47 of them, you're not going to miss. You grab them and you place the rest of the bottom in any order. Crazy good card. Just very susceptible to a lot of, easy KOing. Next, for the 1 cost is going to be our events. So we have I Know You're Strong, so I'll go all out from here. Supernova Straw Hat from OP13. This one costs 1. So basically, activate main, rest 2 of your Dawn cards, so you need to rest 3 total. Up to 2 of your opponent's rested 7 cost characters will not become active. This deck, you primarily want to go for face and face and face. With this one, it'll allow you to save yourself 1 or 2 turns when your opponent will start attacking with some super annoying characters. Now, if you want to not use this, you can go ahead and switch this out with Electrical Luna, which pretty much does the same thing with 3 Dawn, except it stuns all of the 7 cost creatures. So it's up to you whether or not you want to use this one or that one. I'm using this one because I think 2 characters is enough. This one also gives you a counter of 3,000 power for your leader, which I like with a restand with your restanding effects. But a lot of people like to run Electrical Lunas, and that's not a bad card as well. So use both, use one or the other, but one of these 2 cards I definitely think they're needed in this deck for sure. And the last 1 cost is going to be, let's go to the Navy Headquarters from OP16. This one costs 1. However, you need to rest 6 additional Dawn cards, 7 total. If you have 5 Impel Down characters with different card names on the field, set your leader and all of your characters as active. So exactly as it sounds like. The best case scenario for using this is you have all the different all your different characters, maybe a Luffy, a Boa Hancock, a Dawes Bones, a Crocodile, a Buggy, etc. Everyone attacks that turn, even your leader for 5,000 or whatever. So you want to use this when you have 7, 8, 9, 10, or Dawn. And then pretty much, it's best when you have like 10 Dawn, because you can add 2 Dawn attached to your low Dawes Bones and Courage to attack, and also this Luffy, so they can attack into them. Then you attack with everything, so you attack with 6 characters, 5 characters in your leader total. Then you activate this, everyone goes back up. Everyone that had Dawn on them previously will still have that Dawn attached to them, so they will stay powered up in order to attack again. Then after you do that, you can use your leader's ability in order to put your Dawn back up to attach on them to attack with a little bit more power and end the game. I'm running 2 here, but you might run 3 or 4 depending if you really want to rely on this. Now I'll let you know, I've won a lot of duels with this very, very, very specific card. I might be adding more because it's that good. However, there was a lot of searching, so I see it a couple times, but 2 might be too little. 3 is really freaking good. But yeah, this card is crazy for the deck. The counter here is your leader, only your leader gets 3,000. So with your standing ability, you basically only want to use this once per game. Otherwise, you know, it's really out of order, and you're probably not going to have the chance to use it twice. So I like to have like 2 in here. Also these ones with your leader ability to restand Dawn in order to use this so your opponent can't, you know, kill you straight out. So that's how that works. All right, next for your 2 costs, we'll start with Jinbei. It's a 2k for the deck. OP16 2/2 with 1 Dawn attached. His character gains 2,000 power. So you put 1 Dawn on when he's able to attack, and it'll be 5,000 power. This one fulfills the role of a 2k, a very cheap character to put on the board to fulfill different names, and it's also a pretty decent attacker. So it's in here. You're going to see a lot of characters in here with just a 2 or a 3, just because it fulfills the roles for a lot of stuff, and they're different names. You usually won't be playing this. You will definitely want to play these 2Ks, these 2 cost cards and this 1 cost over these other 2 cost cards, but they're here to fulfill that blank character slot just in case you need them. Next is Mr. Galdino from ST30. 2, 3, and 2. Activate main. You can rest the character, meaning you can do it the turn you play it. You can give 2 of your characters with the base power of 6,000 power, 2 rested Dawn cards each. So in this deck, you can only pretty much use it for this Luffy, this Brook, this Crocodile, this Buggy, and this Prisoner of Impel Down. So you have a lot of cards to use it on, but you won't usually use it here. It's much more, I would say it's much more better in like the ST30 deck, and maybe even the OP16 Buggy deck. But it's good here because, once again, it's another character name to fulfill your help with stuff. And because it's a 2 cost card, you're going to be throwing it on the board a lot if you need to, thanks to your leader's ability. But yeah, having this set up on the board beforehand, and you have a lot of other characters with 6,000, this is a crazy good power card, only if you need to set it up. But once again, there's other better cards to play besides it, but it's there if you need it. Next, for your 2 cost card, it's going to be pretty much these 2 cards. They're staples. If you have 1 or 2 in your hand at the start of the game, you keep it with this leader for sure. First one is Dawes Bones, OP16, 2/2 and 1 counter with 1 Dawn attached once per turn. If you have 5 or more cards in your hand, this character gains 3,000, which meaning with 1 Dawn on, this character will attack 6,000. Now remember, you have to have 5 cards or more. So towards the late game, you really have to manage that and make sure you got it going. On play, you get to draw a card. Now this is what I'm talking about with the pros of this deck. You play this Luffy, it replenishes itself, it replaces itself in your hand, and also it's a good attacker later. Same thing with this one. It's a good attacker later, and you get to, for a very, very cheap cost, you get to draw another card. Crazy good card for the deck. Next is going to be this Mr. 2 Bond Curé Bentham OP16 2/1, and it's a brick. Even though it's a brick, that's completely fine. You want to play these almost every single time you get them right away. On play, draw a card, once again replenishes itself. Then with 1 Dawn attached, when attacking, this character's base power becomes the same as your opponent's leaders during this turn. Meaning with 1 Dawn, if your opponent's 5,000, it's a 6,000. If they're 6,000, it's 7,000. So it's really a really good card. Damn, it's good. All right, so next is going to be your 3 costs. So there are no 3 costs in this deck. Moving over to 4 costs, let's get this Emporio Ivankov. OP16, 4, 4, and 1. On play, look at the top 3. Grab any Impel Down, including himself, or whatever, their selves. Then you get the rest, put the rest on the bottom. Then you get to play a 2 or less from your hand. That's really freaking amazing because there's so many cards you can play from it. Remember, even if you already have a 2 cost in your hand and you don't find one from the top here, that's okay. You get to freaking play it from your hand. It doesn't matter. So yeah, you can play these guys, the searching cards, but the best ones to play are going to be these ones for sure. So very good card. Next is going to be this Luffy's. You might not want to run these, but I specifically just really like the card. I think it has a ton of value, so I'm running it down because it has Impel Down too. ST30, 4/6, and it's a brick. On play, rest 1 additional card to gain rush, so 5 Dawn total if you want to rush that turn. Then when attacking, rest up to one of your opponent's blockers. Resting blockers in this meta is extremely powerful. In the past couple years, it's been all about KOing, bouncing them back, but here, resting blockers is insanely good. So that's really good, and it's cool too because even if your opponent isn't attacking or blocking with them, you can rest them anyway, so you can start attacking into those things. So lots of different ways to use this thing. It's just really good as well. So remember, this one counts as a Luffy card, meaning if you have this one on the field and this one on the field, this one will only get buffed up once because it's one Luffy, so you got to keep that in mind. Next, for your 4 costs, it's going to be these Crocodiles here. OP16, 4/6, and is a brick. Has blocker for 6, which is good. On play, bounce back any one of your characters that costs 2 or more. Then you get to play an Impel Down that is 2 or less from your hand. This is a staple you 100% need for. Crazy good. Best case scenario to use these on a future turn, right? Let's say you have 5 Dawn. You already had one of these guys on the field. You can attack, or you can do whatever with your leader. Attach 1 Dawn to one of these guys. Attack for 6,000. It's vulnerable to being attacked. With your 4 Dawn left over, you play this Crocodile down, bounce back one of these vulnerable cards, then replay them to get the draw power, and they're going to be active. Then you can use your leader ability to bring 2 more Dawn back up. With those 2 Dawn, you can attach them to Luffy to start attacking for more damage, or you can, if you have another 2-cost character, you can play them down. So you fulfill the board so much, and you have this big blocker on the field. That's how this card is used. It's crazy good. And that's going to be all of your 4 costs. Now, up to your 5 costs, we have 2 cards here, which is going to be Buggy here, some OP16, 5, 6, and 1. On play, if your leader is Impel Down, which it is, draw 1 card, which is already great. Then you get to play an Impel Down card from your hand, specifically a Prisoner of Impel Down, which we have 8 in this deck. Now, according to the rules, you can have any number, which is why we're running 8, and they're a bunch of 2Ks. So not only that, but the once per turn, this effect can be activated when your opponent attacks. So it doesn't matter if this Buggy is active or this Buggy is rested, you can use this ability. Up to one of your Prisoner of Impel Down cards gains blocker. So all of these, they're 2Ks, they're 6,000, and they have potential blocking power. So this combos really well with Buggy. And usually, these guys don't do crap, they're just 2Ks in your hand, but because you have so many searching, you have so many drawing power, you're going to find a bunch. And they're going to be just really good for countering out. So this one combos really well with all these. Next, as your last 5 costs of the deck is going to be Miss Olive from OP16. 5, 6, and 1. This has a name blocker for 6. On play, bounce back whenever 2 or higher. So it's kind of like the Crocodile, but instead of throwing back another card, you're going to be drawing 2 and trashing 1, which, you know, gives you stuff. It's sifting. It's great. Some people might not want to run these, but once again, I value this card and this one a lot. So I want to have a lot of Impel Down cards with different names, and that's why we're running Miss Olive. I found mostly you're pitching them for counters, but it's pretty good, you know, when you don't have these, when you don't have these Crocodiles, and you want to kind of save these guys as well. This one works too because it's not too hard. Once again, you just use your leader ability to bring back Dawn and play them again. So it fulfills the role. All right, and that's all the 5 costs. Now for the 6 costs, the first one's gonna be Brooke here from OP15. So it's a 6, 6, and 1. On play, rest up to one of your opponent's cards. It can be a Dawn card. It could be a character card. You can rest any one of those. Then activate main trash this character, meaning that you can do it the turn you play this. If your leader has Straw Hat type, which it does, set up to one of your base characters with 8 costs less or active. So basically, you're running them as a one-off in here. It's going to be very niche scenarios, but when the time is right, this character is crazy good. You play it. Rest one of their Dawns if they have, like, you know, Gum Lightning or whatever. I forgot what it's called. You know, the one that the one only Straw Hats can use, a really cheap ass one. Or rest one of their gigantic blockers. It could be like a 10 cost blocker if you want as well. Then you get to set one of your characters as active. So basically, you want to use this on a powered up card. Like, for example, let's say this Luffy's on the field and we buffed him up by 2,000 more. Attack with him. Activate Brooke. he comes back standing, still with 8,000 power and attack again. But most likely, you're going to be using it for like this Boa Hancock, which is really freaking good. But yeah, because this one has a base of 9,000, so you attack with this, then Brook it out, attack again, which is really good because she's unblockable. So that's how this character kind of works. Now remember, it doesn't have Impel Down, so you can't use your leader's ability. But the turn that you want to play this, you're going to be trashing it anyway. So it's a one-off here. Next, for a 6-cost Crocodile, ST30, 661, 6,000 blocker. On play, up to one of your opponent's rested characters will not become active. That's a very good pinch ability there. Pretty good late game as well, especially like, you know, resting one of their rushing 8, 9, 10s and also leaving up a blocker. It's pretty good value there. So once again, this is here just because it fulfills the role of more character names, and it's also just a decent card. All right, and the last of your 6-cost cards, Prison of Impel Down. I already talked about it, but OP16 662. Under the rules, you can have any number. There are some decks that run 8 to 12. I'm running freaking 8 here because I want more 2Ks that do different things, different names. But for example, in the OP16 Buggy deck, I think I'm running 12 in there, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much how that works. It's just potential blocker with this, but pretty decent. All right, and the last card, gonna be Boa Hancock OP16 790. This is unblockable, meaning when this card attacks, it cannot be blocked. It just goes for face. On play, up to one of your opponent's characters other than Luffy cannot be rested until the opponent's end phase. So how this particular works is you can play it right away. You can use it on a blocker. That turn, they can't block. You can use it on a character that's already active. That means on the opponent's turn, they still can't rest it for abilities or attack with it. So you can use it right away to mitigate blockers or use it on a potential attacker for next turn, which is really good. And then you just keep attacking with it. Can't use block. Crazy. Then Impel Down card as well. So those are all the cards of the deck. So the early game, best is going second. Your ideal turn is to play your 1 to 2 costs, which gives you lots of value. Then your leader ability pops off. You bring 2 Dawn back up, and then you play even more. So potentially you can have 2 or 3 cards on the field, and you will be replenishing your hand, which is crazy good. Then the mid game, you want to keep flooding the board as much as possible. More of these 2Ks to help you do damage. You definitely only want to attack when you can easily replace them, or you can defend against some things like the Crocodile and stuff. Then in your late game, once you have 4 to 5 characters at all times, keep swinging 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 to their face, using your Rush Luffys, your Resting Restand Brooks, and then finally your 12 attacks with events. When you are able to use this thing and get 12 attacks off, it feels really freaking crazy good because your opponent just has so many things to deal with, though. You usually only want to go for face with that. Like on the turn that you know you want to activate it and your opponent's attacking your face instead of attacking your cards on the board, you're like, yeah, keep hitting me, keep giving me those cards. Come on. I'm done next turn anyway. So you just attack with all these and you go crazy. So this specific deck, there are 47 Impel Down cards and 3 others. The 3 others are the Brook and these 2 I Know You're Strong. With your leader, you have a lot of 2 Dawn plays once you use it. Once again, attach to attack, attach to activate abilities like these guys, leave up for events for countering, and play even more characters. Crazy good versatility there. With your 1Ks, you have 21, which is pretty average. With your 2Ks, you have 12, which is very good. And a lot of these are, they're decent. So your bricks in your hand, in your deck, are 13, meaning characters without counters. Doesn't mean they're bad cards. So there are 13 of them. However, 4 of them are these Bon Curés, which you definitely want to play, and these Crocodiles, which you want to play. So these ones, low bricks are very valuable because you want to play them out. Anything that's usually crazy high bricks, 7, 8, 9, 10, they're much more tougher to use because you're not going to be able to use them until late game, so they're dead in your hand. But early bricks are very, very valuable. And then you're searching. You have 7 searching cards and then 4 more others. Sorry, and then you have 11 total that actually give you more draw power. So 7 searching and then a bunch more that actually give you just draw when you play, right? Then on your blocking, you have 9 printed block cards, which is going to be 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 17 total. Essentially, these guys can gain block. So you have 4 event and stages, which is these 2 and these 2. Remember, you could run electrical loot if you want, depending on if you see a lot of Luffys and Buggies in your or a P or a purple Enel, you might want to run Electrical Luna. But for other decks that usually have like, you know, not that many characters, they don't flood the board, I think this is enough because I like having the versatility of the plus 3000 counter. All right, and that's it. So the very noteworthy things is I think this is a very fun and thematic deck. It's all Impel Down. All the characters are working together that Luffy finds during this arc. I think it's pretty cool. And then even though it's all Impel Down cards, a lot of it, most of all these cards came out in ST30, OP16. They just came out 1 or 2 weeks ago. They all really work together, and you can definitely mess with the ratios. Like I said, I personally just want lots of different names out so I can work with this. You don't have to run these olives. You can run 2 of these, 2 Brooks, 4 Boa Hancocks. You know, you get rid of all these in general. So there's a lot of different ways you could make this, but I really feel the characters you absolutely want 4 of, 4 Luffys for sure, 4 of these, 4 of these, 4 of these, 4 of these, and then a bunch of these, and then anything else I think you can go ahead and mess with. It's very up for debate of what you want to do. Definitely 2 or 3 of these, and absolutely 2 or 3 of these. But other than that, do whatever you want with this deck. Also, is a very competitive deck. It's winning a lot of tournaments right now in variations of what I have here. But yeah, it swings wide, replenishes resources very easy, and very versatile in plays because a lot of your cards are very cheap, right? So like, do you want to attack? Do you want to leave it standing? Do you want to attach? Do you want to leave them up? It's just, this deck's very high skill level as well. There's just so many different things you can do. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been how to play the Luffy. So there's going to be a link down below to the duels playlist where I play this on a simulator against other people, and also I have a step-by-step play where I play against an AI. I slow it down and break down every single move and turn so you guys can learn exactly how to play that. Thanks for watching, and once again, like and sub, it really helps out. I'll see you next time. Bye.